That's our own Mary Katharine Ham, our old friend. She's on the line right now. We've been wanting to get to her and talk to her a few days because there is, you think the royal baby was news. In Washington, the big news was Mary Katharine Ham is now a mom. Hi, Mom. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Well,
you remember last time I was on, I made fun of you guys for having to get up so early in the morning, but I knew my time was coming, so I'm paying you back for it now.
I bet you've been up for a few hours, right?
She's actually been super easy on us newbies, so we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but she does pretty well at night. She's already figured out days and nights, and she sleeps for a couple hours at a time, so I feel all right. I feel like the morning show was good training for this.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear. So Mary Katharine, as you absorb what it is to be a mom, to be a parent, I'm wondering, have you had any deep thoughts about it, or are you just trying to figure it out as you go?
I'm pretty much figuring it out as I go, but it is a pretty amazing and a little surreal thing for a while. It does take a couple days to go, I was pregnant, now I'm not, and there's a human. But we've had a blast with her, and she's been, like I said, very, very kind to us, which I take as a makeup call for the fact that she gave me morning sickness for the entire pregnancy.
Oh, well, there's that.
That's good. Well, Brian mentioned that your Twitter feed is always so active, and that the first thing that struck me was you are so keyed into the news cycle, into pop culture, and into entertainment, Mary Katharine Ham. Has it been sort of hard for you to have such a major distraction in your life, or have you not missed a beat? Have you been checking your Twitter stream while you're feeding the baby?
I do, actually. I rely on late night and early morning Twitter to keep me entertained, so that's part of it. But I've also been trying to maybe switch to sports coverage and sports tweeting for a while so that I'm not obsessing about politics just because that's more stressful. So I followed the silly RG3 Shanahan thing pretty closely last week because ESPN was on all day long while we were in the hospital. She's been bred well early.
Oh, that's good. And well, then, given that, what is your take on this whole thing? Do you think that RG3 should just sort of not, stop talking to the press and do what the coaches say, or do you think he has a right to go out there and sort of make waves?
I think when you have a disagreement with RG3, it is perhaps the most polite disagreement in all of sports. So I didn't think the controversy was all it was cracked up to be. I understood why Shanahan might get a little ill that he's out talking about it. And I think he'll probably learn a lesson and pull the reins in a little bit, RG3 himself, just because he's a smart guy. But, he's right. He doesn't have to like everything the coach says, but he goes along with it. It's clear that he wants to be part of the program and do what's right. And I think he'll listen. So I didn't. In the end, I thought this feels like an August story. They're just trying to keep this.
well, now as you look around, in the world of politics right now, Congress is off, and one assumes they're getting an earful about Obamacare from many of their constituents. They're going to come back. They're going to have to deal with some very difficult things. As you look with your practice eye across the field of politics, what are the stories that you think we should be watching very closely?
Well, I mean, as always, the Obamacare implementation is going to be an issue. It always has been that. Around November of last year, I started looking at this and going, just looking a little deeper at how they were going to actually pull this off, because everybody kept saying, oh, it's a Travelocity for health care, moving on, which I said, wait, you have to build that thing. And I think we've seen that sort of come unwound. And I wrote about it last November saying, hey, guys, this seems really complicated, and I'm not sure they can pull it off. So October 1st is going to be an interesting day, and I think that a lot of the systems created to try and get this thing off the ground, because they want to get off the ground at any cost, even if it sort of, doesn't work.
Well, the word train wreck has been used to describe what is coming, and there's a little factoid that's out there this morning. I don't know if you saw this or not. Out of the 82 deadlines, the Obama administration on Obamacare has missed 41 of them. Exactly.
Wow. Yes,
50% of the deadlines have been missed.
It's just that's a symptom of bad legislation. We said from the beginning, that there's no fun in being right about this, because being right about it means that a lot of people are hurting and not getting what they need, and that this does not improve people's lives. But we said that for 2 years, 3 years. And so now you're seeing it actually happen, and it's going to be unpleasant.
Mary Katharine Ham is our guest. I'd tell you to go check her out at hotair.com, but I'm thinking your byline at Hot Air is on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, yes?
It is. If I'm doing anything, I'm on Twitter, and I may go back to TV in the coming weeks. Because I think maybe it'd be fun to get my hair and makeup done for a little while.
Yeah, let someone else do that. MK Hammer is the Twitter feed that you want to follow then to stay in touch with her and congratulate her on being a new mom. Now, when I was a new dad, I know that I got got advice from everywhere. Everyone has advice for you, but you're kind of, listen, you're Mary Katharine Ham, for crying out loud. You're sort of, you travel in certain circles. Do you get any celebrity advice? Do any people in the media or any high profile people give you advice?
No, I will tell you I was about 30. I do get a little bit of advice, but the funniest is I was about 36 weeks pregnant, and I was sitting in the green room with Charles Krauthammer and Senator Rand Paul. And Charles Krauthammer said, well, we're both doctors, but there's not a lot we can do, so just hold off.
Just in case you went into labor. Yeah, exactly.
You're here with an eye doctor and a psychiatrist, so just hold off for a little while.
That's hilarious. And how is the new dad doing? Are you guys splitting the diaper duties? I know when we had newborns in my house, my wife was in charge of input, and I was in charge of output.
Oh, I like that.
That is a good division of labor, and I should look into that. No, he's done extremely well, and I have to say there were none of those moments during labor like the movies where you start yelling at your husband, because I could not have done it without him. He did a great job. So it's great to have him around. He's taken a little bit of time off work to help us out and sort of working from home. So it's been fun to tag team it.
You know, the best advice that I got about being a parent, it's the simplest advice I ever heard, and it's the most brilliant advice. You ready?
Yeah.
Three things: feed them, change them, love them.
Aww.
And you just really can't go wrong.
That's what we've been working on.
I mean, the rest of it is easy if you just do those three things.
I guess. I mean, all right. I was just trying to think of something fun and snarky to say, but for crying out loud, it's your baby, Mary Katharine.
Too sweet.
So, yeah, it is too sweet.
All right. I do appreciate we've gotten very specific advice. Like, they'll be like, watch this DVD. And I'm like, thanks, that I can handle.
Yeah. Well, my advice to you is learn how to swaddle. Swaddling is huge, man. I don't know if you've tried this yet.
No, it's like a light switch.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
When the kid is crying, you put him in the swaddle and just it shuts him up. That's amazing.
It's the same thing.
My parents were saying that was not of the fashion when I was born, and they're like, man, this would have been great.
Yeah, swaddling, it's like an old thing, but now it's new again. Pediatricians are showing you how to do
Same thing
it.
worked for dogs. When dogs get into a storm and they're nervous, if you wrap them in something tightly, they...
Are you comparing Mary Katharine Ham, beautiful newborn baby, to a dog?
I'm saying it is a neurological thing that works in mammals.
Mary Katharine Ham, we're thrilled that now that the pregnancy's over with and you're used to waking up early again, we hope to have you on here more often. And I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that you did not live tweet the labor. Were you tempted?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought about doing that, and then I was like, then I'll just have 100,000 people like asking, "Are you done yet?"
Yeah. How many centimeters are you dilated, Mary Katharine?
And so when you're doing those early morning feedings, I just want to remind you of one thing: 1-888-630-9625. Give us a call. Okay.
Got it.
All right, Mary.
Congratulations. We're so thrilled.
We are so
and
happy
for
for you.
joining us.
Absolutely.
Now
Thank
let's
you
get
very
back
much.
to punditry, Mary Katharine. Enough of this baby talk.
It's fine. I'll do my best.
All right. Talk to you soon.